episode 268.
Yep.
Yes, 268 of the Skips You podcast. My name is Dean.
My name is Brett.
When are we doing that podcast with my dad? Is that 275?
275. I'll send him a
Okay.
reminder text tomorrow when this gets published.
I couldn't remember if it was 270 or 275. We are recovering still from our trip to Chicago. Brett and I both went, and if you follow us online, you probably saw it. We both went to a White Sox Mets game, which was an awesome game. It was the game where Jake Rogers hit a walk-off home run in the ninth inning. The White Sox were down. They hit 3 home runs in the 6th. Was it, Brett?
3 home runs in the 6th inning.
Sean Manaea, who our friend said was about to implode because he never gets out of the 5th or gets past the 5th. He imploded. And Brett and myself, I don't really gamble, but I did a little gambling. So I was, with the boys. Brett, I think, made a lot more money than I did on, I don't know what was it that you guys even did?
So let me tell this real quick, because I think Marzo deserves some appreciation for this. So one of our buddies, longtime friend, big Mets fan. And I honestly think he can care less about baseball unless the Mets are playing. Like, I don't think he knows a lot of stars in the league. Or do you think he's playing dumb? Let's start there.
I think he's a bigger Mets fan than Pat is. I think he knows more about what the Mets are doing than
currently, for sure. But long term, I don't know. Pat's been a Mets fan forever.
I'm just saying right now.
Yeah, in the moment, I would agree, Marzo. But so Marzo, we get separated. We're there at this White Sox game. It seems like our buddy Pat invited 30, 40 kids to go to this game and was just trying to network with everyone at the same time and socialize. So my buddy Marzo, my other buddy Dave, we get stuck in the right field outfield during the 6th inning. We're at the bar there, and Marzo goes, "They gotta pull Manaea. He is going to implode." And we all take out our phones. We all go on DraftKings, place a couple bets on +1 run. Obviously, first home run goes, we hit the bet. Marzo says, "Let's double down and take that. There's gonna be another run this inning." We do it again. And then Marzo's like, "I told you, it's done. It's over with." And then we took a last bet, and it was the third guy who hit a home run. We didn't take it to be a home run. We just took it to be a hit, and it ended up being a home run. So we just drilled it, and scholarships were made in that 6th inning. Not really, but it was a lot of fun live betting with a diehard Mets fan who called it. It was like zero doubt in his mind that like Manaea was going to get lit up, and that's exactly what happened. White Sox ended up walking off that game as well, as you mentioned earlier. So electric game for the boys trip this year to go to. I don't think we've decided on next year's. We'll talk about that boys trip on another episode. But we do one a year, and we do a layup year and a 3-pointer year. So next year, I think we're due for a bigger trip, but it all depends on what schedules look like. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Well, so we have a friend that will be living, not permanently, but he will be living in San Diego for 2 years. So do we go knock out that? We're definitely doing San Diego within the next 2 years because of that. But then what's next year and what's the year? We'll figure it out. It was fun. The play that I made money on was the 8th or the 9th inning. And what's cool about the White Sox Stadium, if I had to give the White Sox Stadium a rating, I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It was really, really cramped on the first level, like the 100. I guess it's the 100 level, and that's where everything really is. And when you're in the outfield, it's okay, but inside the state, like inside where the right field and left field sides are, like the foul sides, super cramped, really hot, and it wasn't hot out, but in those areas it's really, really hot. But what was really cool is you can sit in like a beer garden almost.
Yeah, Pat was calling it like the Alpine Cove or something like that. I think that is the name. It's something Cove.
Whatever he was calling it, it was not the name of it. But we went.
It was not the name.
When you go down there, there's like the big. It's almost like you're in a zoo watching the opposing team's bullpen. And I don't know if there's a bar on the other side to see the home team's bullpen, whatever, because it doesn't matter. We were watching the Mets pitchers warm up, and Brian just saw Kodai Senga, and I guess how the way Kodai Senga looked, Brian was like, "Mets are going to lose. Just bet the White Sox in the spread." And it was like plus 1.5 at that point. So I did. Now Kodai Senga never got in the game, but Mets ended up giving up that home run. Brian was like talking to one of the guys
He's
in
talking to what's his name? Juan, the guy who does the excessive celebrations. His name's escaping me at this very moment.
yeah, he was jumping up whenever he threw a pitch, Brian was like jumping up. And then they were like giving each other thumbs up. So it was kind of funny. So White Sox Stadium, cool. We'll see where we go next year. So we missed an episode on Sunday.
Jeffrey Yon.
Yeah. So we missed an episode on Sunday because I was flying back. Brett was driving back. What time of practice be there next week? Shut up, Brady. So let's see. What do we want to talk about first? We have the title is Cal Raleigh's Buttgate. So a few days ago, I can't remember the exact day, Pete Crow Armstrong slapped the butt of Cal Raleigh. Since that game, okay, do we have those stats, Brett?
I have his last week, his last 20
Okay.
at bats.
Give me the last
7 for 20
at bats.
5 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5 runs scored, 5 walks, and he's batting .350 with a 1.580 OPS.
Okay, so I'm going to give from yesterday. Was batting .556.
This was his last week.
Yeah, but when did he slap when was the butt slapped?
Was it the 3 home run game on August 24th, or was it before then?
Let me ask Gemini.
If so, it would have been August 21st when
PCA
he hit a bomb against
Cal Raleigh's.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was the first game of the Chicago Cubs series where he hit a bomb.
Let's see if Gemini knows. It's thinking about it. Shouldn't really have to think. Just answer now. Come on. Sunday, August 23rd.
Okay,
the series finale. So yeah, so since then he's been playing unbelievable. I don't know why we named it. I shouldn't have named this the episode. But all right, Raleigh hit 3 home runs Monday in Seattle's 9-2 win over Philadelphia, the first 3 homer game of his career, and the first by a Mariner at T-Mobile Park. That's crazy. I don't know if I believe that. He homered again in his first at bat Tuesday, tying the franchise record with home runs in 4 consecutive at bats. Seattle won the first 2 games of the series before Philadelphia took Wednesday's series finale. The eruption ended Philadelphia's 9-game winning streak and gave Seattle a badly needed lift in a crowded American League wildcard race. It also kind of puts an end to all of the memes that people have been posting about Cal Raleigh, where it's like, I think they were doing like, who's the guy with one arm?
Jim Abbott?
No, way back. The guy who was like a batter and an outfielder. Brain fart. It was like,
I think it's one hand. Sorry,
people were like posting like this guy with one arm had a better OPS than Cal Raleigh this season. Someone was posting like Lou Gehrig's ALS year and like how he had a better like batting average than Cal. It was like all these that kind of puts an end to it. With Raleigh going on this little run, it's still one of the worst drop offs in Major League Baseball history when you look at like OPS dip and just overall production dip. Which, how much of that is, you know, he was beat up at the beginning of the year with injuries, so how much of it kind of is a result of that? But yeah, what do you? You're a big Cal Raleigh guy.
I am, and I kept him in our fantasy league. I'm definitely not keeping him again, but I think he's an excellent player, and he needed to, like you said, he's banged up. He played in the World Baseball Classic for Team USA. I remember, like, he went from a deep playoff run to World Baseball Classic, and then very minimal time back in his spring training. So this guy took a lot of swings, won the home run derby, a lot of swings. Like, after a while, your body's just beat up, and I think that's what we saw here. And he's finally like had time to. I'm sure he's been nursing these injuries with like rehabilitation constantly. He plays a lot of games behind the dish as well. It's not like he's a DH.
Yeah, I was just looking.
I mean? Like he's an excellent fielder, so he's taking like a beating from behind the plate and swinging the bat.
I still think he should have won MVP last year people are saying like, "Oh, see, this is why I shouldn't have won MVP last year." That doesn't really
Yeah,
correlate.
no,
I'm actually
MVP
just
is
looking at
based
his
off one
contract real
regular
quick.
season.
Yeah, he signed his extension before last year. So, but Seattle still, again, they're still 4 games out of the wild card. Will Gilbert had a great game. Or sorry, George Kirby had another great game the other day. I think it was like the 4th time he's pitched into the 8th inning. I They were a lot of not sleeper, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is a sleeper World Series contender." They still have a nasty starting rotation, and you have Julio Rodriguez. If you have Colorado, he's playing well. Randy Arozarena, all these guys. It's definitely not a team that you would want in the playoffs. Like if you look at these other AL teams that are vying for that last playoff spot, like the Cleveland Guardians have a playoff spot right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10, so they kind of slid in. I'm not really worried about the Cleveland Guardians, if we're being honest. Texas Rangers, Jacob deGrom got lit up the other day. I don't know. I'm not worried about them. Toronto Blue Jays, Dylan Cease is nasty. The rest of the team, eh. Baltimore Orioles,
Sign
eh.
Michael
Seattle
Lorenzen
Mariners.
today.
Seattle Mariners, boom. Kind of, I don't know.
I think the Mariners have everything you need to win playoff series. They have a very good closer in Andres Munoz. They have an electric rotation with Kirby, Gilbert. They just brought up Cade Anderson. He's going to make his second start this week, and he had arguably the best minor league season ever as a pitcher, and I think he's going to be excellent. You got Bryce Miller, Brian Wu. That rotation's nasty, and then yeah, Julio is like sleepwalking right now to 2020 again, and he's like the 260th ranked player in fantasy. Like he's not having a fantastic year, but he's a guy that we've seen him just go off for spurts like a month long. It's like, dude, he just hit 420 for the month of July, and it's who knows if he's going to do that here in these last 30 games. You're looking at me like, what?
No, I'm reading something about Julio Rodriguez. Brett, while we were in Chicago, was really big on Julio Rodriguez being a Hall of Famer, and I was
No, I
going
said,
back against that.
what do you think his chances are? And you were, and I believe if I'm recalling it correctly, you said pretty low or not likely. And I said
Well, you
his
had brought
counting
someone else. You
stats are
brought someone had brought someone else up, and I said like 2%.
Corbin Carroll, maybe
No, I don't think it was Carroll. It was someone who's like new, like second
Junior,
year.
Junior
I don't think it
Caminero.
was. No, I don't think it was Caminero. I can't remember who it was. I said Julio had a better chance
Julio, just
than.
like if he stays healthy, his counting stats are going to be sick because he puts up numbers in like not good seasons, let alone like his great years that he's had so far. I don't know, but we could jump off the Mariners. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Giants series real quick because this was kind of cool. So Reds on Wednesday night are trailing the San Francisco Giants 9-3. They scored 7 runs. They won 10-9. Prospect guy who got called up in the last month and a half or so, Hector Rodriguez, he hit 2 homers in that game. Really cool to watch. Eugenio Suarez hit a grand slam. The wild thing about after taking this win, which was, they have not been trailing by 6 or more runs entering the ninth and won since 1958. So it's been a long time. The next, within hours, Cincinnati placed Eugenio Suarez and TJ Friedel on the outright waivers, and both remained unclaimed. And that really showed that no team really wanted to justify paying Eugenio Suarez the rest of his deal, which I think he's owed $3 million. That's how little people think of him.
Is it only 3 million?
$3 million that's left?
I'm actually surprised by that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
He's got like what's his OPS plus right now? A 93 OPS plus, which obviously isn't great, but it's not terrible. It's like slightly below average. 19 home runs, 57 RBIs. He's batting 208 though. Well, it'll be interesting to see who picks him up. I don't know where he'd fit. Would he fit in Seattle? Can he go back there?
I don't know. Because Colt Emerson just went on the IL recently, and I don't know how. I haven't been paying attention to how they're shaping their infield right now. So, if I took a look at it, actually, I'll do that while we're talking. But
I got it.
what's their depth chart?
No, I'm just looking for like the most likely
Because
landing
they
spot for
still
him.
have they have Naylor still as well.
Yeah, but he doesn't
He
play
plays
third base.
first. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think who fills out their
Well, yeah,
infield right
yeah.
now.
I don't know if
Cole
you would
Young, I'm
want.
assuming, is starting at second. I don't know who is JP Crawford starting at shortstop. Is he still there?
This is the worst AI in the world. The most likely landing spot for Eugenio Suarez is the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, terrible. Um, but yeah,
What
so
about New York? What about New York?
the Yankees,
Yeah.
no, like maybe because they want to increase the production at third base behind McMahon, but I don't know.
I guess it doesn't matter. He cleared waivers, so
I could maybe yeah, exactly. Well, let's move on. We talked about Cal Raleigh. We talked about the Giants Reds historic game there for the Reds there. Let's talk about the Braves Dodgers. They played a series this week, and it honestly the big takeaway is this going to be, you know, the preview for October here. Is this a matchup that's destined to happen in the playoffs? And the uh, Braves took. Sorry, why is my thing all bad? I am not used to this right now. What did the Braves do in that series? Do you know if they won the series tonight?
tonight,
Yeah,
let me check statsoldier.com.
perfect. But yeah, the Dodgers I think are beatable.
Yeah, Braves won 1-0. I obviously the Dodgers are beatable. They have a losing record against teams above 500. After last night's game, we don't have that in the notes, but they went below 500 against teams. Uh,
Oh,
sorry,
the Braves swept them. The
the
Braves
Braves won
swept them.
1-0 tonight. The Roki Sasaki, not that he's been amazing, but he's been better over the last month or so. He's been up and down, but still, he left the game with a blister issue on his. I don't know which finger it was, but it was obviously on his right hand. You have Blake Snell, who's pitching unbelievable right now. Lou Sasaki, Otani is supposed to come back on Sunday, so that's I think when it comes to the Dodgers, what's the biggest conversation right now? I think it has to be Otani coming back, and will he be able to pitch uh, consistently again? And then what does that look like in the playoffs? Are you starting him in the playoffs, or is he going to be a bullpen guy in the playoffs? And that's something that you've brought up a lot. And I was watching MLB Network today, and they had one of the Dodgers coaches on, and the MLB Network guys tried to pry and get that answer, and the Dodgers coach obviously didn't give him anything. But I forget who they're playing on Sunday. But Otani is slated to pitch in some capacity. Again, Edwin Diaz is down. Is this the opportunity, Brett, for them to finally use Otani as a closer?
Yeah, they're heading to Detroit for the series. I think they should because I think if I remember correctly, they got Glass now back. Blake Snell just came back. Um, they got to have a couple prospects ready to go. Robleski, is he injured right now too?
He's
I
injured, yeah.
can't keep I can't keep up with how many injuries this team has in the rotation and all year long. Yeah, he's out. He's on a rehab assignment this week though, so he'll be back. Sasaki's a blister. He'll be back probably within a month. Gavin Stone, he was in a rehab start last night, AAA, and struck out 5. So they're going to get Gavin Stone back. Um, yeah, I think if you have those 3 guys plus Glassnow and Snell, and I'm probably forgetting someone. I know they just traded away River Ryan, so they don't have that option anymore. But why Otani wouldn't be a closer where you get to have him more often rather than just once every 5 goes, you know? And you don't put too much stress on the arm.
I don't know. if they're necessarily getting him more often. I'm just thinking of like giving him some
because
like
like
closer
if he's
I'm not saying he's the full-time closer, but just giving him some closer opportunities.
yeah, okay, fair. But let's just say he gets 3 or 4, opportunities amongst like 2 series in the playoffs and gets like 2, 3 saves, like that come on, that'd be awesome.
No, I think it would be cool.
Um, well, let's jump to the divisional roundup. Let's talk American League East. So Tampa Bay still has their chokehold on the division. Yankees are 3.5 back, Boston 6 back. Baltimore and Toronto are both
Wait,
14.5
Brett,
back.
I was just doing the Dodgers rotation in my head. Did you not mention Scooball?
Yeah, like I said, I
That
probably am
was I
forgetting somebody,
was
and it was
that
Scooball
was the
because
one that you're
he's so
forgetting. I
frustrating.
was thinking, I'm like, why? Because you had Yamamoto, but I'm like,
Yeah,
who's the big
just
name that
missed
we're
the
missing? Obviously,
back-to-back Cy Young winner. That was real.
he has not been great for them yet. So
Yeah, but he will be. It's Tarek Skubal. Um, Sorry about that. So, let's talk preview. You had tickets to this week's game. You can't go. You got other obligations, but Yankees Boston 4-game series in New York. I think this is for the division run here because if Boston's able to take a division
well,
in New York,
you have the Rays. It's more for like the top wild card spot, I would say.
yeah, out of respect, yes, for top wild card spot, but realistically, whoever wins this series, I think will be able to challenge the Rays for the rest of the year for the division.
Sure, yeah.
So Boston, they have everything to play for. I did not see. Do you know who their probable starters are for this series?
Yeah, it's a mess. So there's one TBD. There's which I think is going to be like an opener and then a Brian Bayo. Then you have I have it 1 second. I actually
And the
pulled up
Yankees
for
are going
this.
game. The Yankees are going game one with Cam Schlittler, then TBD, then TBD, and game four is Will Warren is scheduled. So you got to imagine the Yankees are going to do a bullpen game for one of them, and then I don't know, maybe Rodon for the other, depending on rest, because Cole went tonight.
I have it 1 second because you have Suarez, you have the TBD, which will be Bayo most likely, which I'm fine with. So you have Sandoval tomorrow, and then you have Bennett Saturday with the other TBD game, and then Sunday is Suarez. Yeah,
Gotcha. So, um, I think for our sake, obviously we want to win all 4 games, but a 2-2 uh, split wouldn't be the worst thing in the world right now. The Red Sox always play New York tough, so I am definitely have my ears perched for these games. I'll be watching them all. Natalie and I don't have any plans this weekend, and we made plans that we're going to watch every game this week. So excited about that.
I'm shocked.
Um,
The biggest story on the Red Sox side will be is Roman Anthony going to be back. Well, Anthony and Trevor Story will they be back for the series?
oh yeah,
I would
and
like
so
I would like
what is
Roman Anthony to be back.
what's Roman Anthony been dealing with? It's been a tendon in his hand,
Yeah, it
essentially.
was like a ring finger tendon issue, wrist
Jeez.
issue that just took forever to get healthy. There's rumors as to what was actually going on, and then something it's all unsubstantiated, but they were saying there's issues with him and Marcelo Meyer. But that was like a Reddit thing. But he did do an interview where he talked about it, and he was just like, I don't know, just the way that he did the interview. I think it was with Rob Bradford. I was just like, he's not really answering the question. I only saw a clip though, so I don't know. I mean, like, no, like I saw a clip where I was like, he's kind of like avoiding the question, and maybe there is something up, but I don't think there was anything up. He's trending towards playing. A lot of people don't want Trevor Story to get called up. I am one of those. I don't really know where he would fit right now. I actually think it'd be better just to wait for rosters to expand in 4 days or 5 days, whatever September 1st is, and then bring him up. But I don't know. You're paying him. You definitely need the help on the defensive side at shortstop. Montero hasn't been great. Really, honestly, the team that needs more help at shortstop is the Yankees, with George Lombard having 5 straight games with an error. I don't think the Yankees are playing today, correct? So he
They
can't
are. They're
extend
pl-
that.
they're pl- they're playing Houston tonight. Their
Oh, so
game,
maybe
and
he.
it's 5-1 in the top bottom ninth. Houston's winning.
So maybe did Lombard have an error yet tonight to
I'll
extend
tell you
his
in 2 seconds.
streak?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Still better than Volpe though.
The Yankees do have 2 errors.
I'm looking. George Lombard Jr. Where do I see that here? I'm on the box score. Sorry. Lombard Jr. Damn it. He did have an error.
That's bad.
In the 7th inning.
Oh man. Wait, is Twitter eating him alive?
I don't know. I'm not on Twitter. But
Now
while
I'm
you
gonna
look for that, I'm jumping to the AL Central because we got to keep moving.
6
the White
errors in
Sox,
last 6 games. Poor guy.
yeah,
Poor guy. Brett, you were like last week saying I'm gonna keep him.
dude.
He's batting like he's batting like 150. He's batting like 150.
Over what, the last week?
Yeah, and he guy can't like feel the ball.
In the last week he's batting 167. He's got an RBI, 1 walk, and 4 runs scored. So better than Volpe.
No, I don't think it's better than Volpe.
Anything's better than Volpe. AL Central, White Sox, they're leading the division. Cleveland's 2.5 games back. Minnesota's 6.5 back. Detroit's 8 back. I think Detroit's done for. I think Tristan Peters is the story here. Homered in 5 straight games for the White Sox and tied a franchise record and the Major League rookie record. Kind of exciting stuff for the White Sox. Right now, it seems like they're producing a lot of young dudes, and they're not always the biggest flashy names as prospects, but they're all generating value to the current Major League roster, which is the really exciting part for Southside fans. And I think we made a good choice going this year to a White Sox game. Now that I look back at it,
the game itself was a lot of fun, just because it was back and forth, and there was so many home runs, and it was a walk off and everything. It was funny because a lot of our friends didn't know any of the White Sox players because they are not big names. And one of our friends didn't. I'm not going to name him, but he didn't even know who Munetaka Murakami was.
Wait,
he definitely should have known who Munetaka Murakami is. I don't want to say it just in case they're listening. I don't want to.
Okay, fine. We won't ruffle feathers. The AL Central, I think Kansas City, we got to mention it. 9-game winning streak. It ended on Wednesday, so last night against Toronto. The Royals, even with the 9-game win streak, are still 11.5 out in the division. So
and they're 9 out of the wild card.
Yeah, I know, but 9 wins, we got to talk about it for a hot second.
No, I'm just saying, like there's just no hope for them. Although I still have hope for Bobby Witt Jr. winning MVP. Yordan Alvarez has not been great. He has not hit a home run. I don't think he's going to win the Triple Crown. Bobby Witt Jr., even with the games that he's missed, has a higher. He was like the 3rd highest WAR in baseball, the 2nd highest like just offensive player WAR behind Pete Crow Armstrong. Ohtani, it doesn't count because he has a pitching WAR. So the argument to be made.
Yeah, and exciting stuff for the Twins and Guardians. They got 2 big weapons, I think, lurking that they can call up right now in Walker Jenkins for the Twins, and then Ralph.
Walker Jenkins was called up.
Was that yesterday? He got called up
today.
I missed today. Okay, and then Ralphie Velasquez for the Guardians, who is one of the biggest power hitters in the minors right now. So both can add to their offenses. I'm sure the Guardians, knowing what they've done with their pitching department, they could probably have an arm or 2 they can call up as well. But I think this division continues. It's not the flashiest, and we do skip talking about it a lot on this podcast, but it is going to be a tight division race to the end here.
Yeah, Walker Jenkins was called up a couple hours ago.
Okay, so
that's why we don't have it. All right, National League East.
American League West.
So do we have it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Houston.
I was double checking the. Okay, so American League West. Entering Thursday night. Houston 66 and 67. What were we saying?
They just took the series against the Yankees, a 2-1 series win.
No, I'm just laughing at that. That's the
scores. Or the record.
The
The record.
No, so right now, the Houston Astros are live against the Yankees, obviously. So they're 66 and 67. Then you have Texas half game back, Seattle 2.5 games back from that. And then the Athletics and Angels are completely out of it.
Yes.
Seattle. Oh wait, I didn't even realize this when we were just talking about Seattle a moment ago. Seattle's only 2.5. I was just looking at the wild card because I assumed they were completely out of the division. They're only 2.5 games out of the division. I forgot how bad the West was. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, I put out a tweet about that. The that division has the Athletics. They have a minus 185 run differential. It's not even close to anyone else in Major League Baseball. The next,
Well, it's also because they're playing in a minor league park.
yeah, I know, but minus 185 is crazy. The next
No, I
one is
know.
which is a good point because number 2 on the list is the Rockies, who's minus 138. So,
No.
and we know Colorado's very hitter friendly.
And then no one
Our
else is close to that. Cincinnati is minus 100, actually.
And that's another great park to hit in Great American Ballpark. Like
Yeah.
I think all 3 of those stadiums would be considered top 5 hitter parks right now. I don't even
Alright,
know if
move
you
on.
consider the Athletics. All right. National League East. So I Phillies are 4.5 games back from Atlanta. Oh no, 5 games back now from Atlanta. Atlanta swept the Dodgers, as we mentioned earlier. The Mets are a dumpster fire, and I'm not going to give them time this week since Hagen's not here. The
They're actually
Nationals,
6-4 in their last 10, just to defend Hagen. But go on.
fine, yeah, fair enough. The Nationals 3-7 in the last 10, and they're only a game and a half up on the Mets. So Nationals, Mets, both not great this year. The Marlins are continuing to chug along. They're 2 games above 500, but I don't think they have a chance of making the NL wild card. The West and the Phillies are just too good. So, actually, the Central, I should say, and then the West contenders because the Central's got some solid teams too. Anything you want to talk about from the NL East here? Do we want to talk about Schwarber making a little history?
Schwarber, what's the history?
So he has homered 40 or more homers in his 4 consecutive seasons for the Phillies. He tied the franchise record with Ryan Howard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's cool. Yeah, he's the first player to hit 40 home runs. Someone had put out like a tweet about the Red Sox not signing him and then how many home runs he's hit since then. I think it was like 267 or something, or 200 something home runs since the Red Sox decided to let him go to Philly. So that just made me depressed. But he's someone that's a better or a more interesting conversation when we talk like Hall of Fame rather than Julio Rodriguez. Is Kyle Schwarber? Where does he fall? Because he's not a WAR guy. He's the opposite of a WAR guy. I think he has like less than 25 WAR in his career.
Who?
In fact, Kyle Schwarber has like less than 25 WAR in his career, I believe.
And who you're comparing him to? Julio?
No. I'm saying it's I think a more interesting conversation as to who makes the Hall of Fame, Kyle Schwarber or Julio Rodriguez.
Gotcha. Well, the thing is, I feel like Schwarber is a one-trick pony. Like and his trick is incredible, but it's home runs. Julio has 133 career stolen bases already. He's on the way to like being a career 280 hitter.
Yeah,
I
but
know
how
he's
many
super
runs has
young,
that? How many runs has that created? Like that's the
so is like
question.
WRC plus you're asking?
No, I just want the stat. Like how many runs has Schwarber over? Like I think if we could do this, I can pull it
So
up. Like
Kyle
Julio
Schwarber
through go.
has 429 runs in his career. Schwarber has, give me 1 second, 865. So Julio's got half the amount of runs scored as Kyle Schwarber.
Well, yeah, he's played half the amount of games. So I have it up. Okay. This is an interesting Kyle Schwarber, 1,400 games, 1,419 games. Julio Rodriguez, 713 games. Total B WAR, Kyle Schwarber, 22.5. Julio Rodriguez, 25.2. So Rodriguez already has more B WAR than Schwarber in half the games. Hits, Schwarber has 1,100. He has 380 home runs, 865 RBIs, and 40 stolen bases. Obviously, that's where the difference is. 127. So this is what I was actually looking for. 127 OPS plus. Julio's OPS plus for his career is 125. So,
Pretty close.
well, if you look at that, the slash lines, obviously those are gonna change, but it's gonna, like you said, where does Julio end up with the counting stats? But Schwarber doesn't have an MVP. He does have a Silver Slugger. He has a World Series. He was part of the team that broke the curse in Chicago. If he's had a really, like, if you look at him like age 30 on, he's been great. Where most players go backwards, Schwarber's had by far his best years. So it's going to be interesting to see if he ends up with 500 home runs. We talk about Giancarlo Stanton. If Giancarlo Stanton ends up with 500 home runs, is he a Hall of Famer? We always said no. Now it's like, if Kyle Schwarber ends up with 500 home runs, is he a Hall of Famer? People are going to say yes. I don't. Now I'm talking myself out of
Well,
Kyle Schwarber
you
being a Hall of
said
Famer.
Giancarlo Stanton is not a. You said that about Stanton. I think Stanton, if he gets to 500 somehow with, I think he's stuck at 459 or 469. It's one of those two numbers. If he gets stuck there and doesn't make 500, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. If he makes the 500 club with an MVP and potentially gonna have like a, what do you call it, a Mickey Mouse World Series, if the Yankees are able to get one like this year and he's on the roster,
No,
yeah,
no
I think
one's
he's in.
gonna no one's gonna count that. It's just the MVP year. That's what
Yeah,
that's
but
gonna be
the MVP
the
year is
big difference.
huge.
Yeah, it is. But Schwarber has had like 5 good years in a row, where Stanton, I don't think Stanton ever had like 2 great years. Like, I'd have to pull up his Baseball Reference right now. He's
I
been
got
like
it.
up down, very inconsistent. Where Schwarber the past 5 years has been amazing. But I guess they're kind
I
of similar players.
I, I will say this: there was from 2014 through 2018, Stanton had 37, 27, 27, 59, 38 home runs, and then fast forward to his Yankee years from 2021 through last season, 2025. His home run totals 35, 31, 24, 27, 24. Like, Stanton is a Hall of Famer, especially if he gets to 500. He's
I
had
don't think he's a
two
Hall of Famer.
solid runs. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see.
He's just,
Not to mention,
that's not a
he has an
solid run.
MVP.
Like, he's just a home run hitter.
I know, but he's five-time All-Star, two-time Silver Slugger. He's won an
I don't care
MVP.
about
He's
the
won
All
an
Star
AL.
games.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on.
I don't care where the All Star games. It's just
Done
where
with the
they're just
NL.
voted on by the fans.
Yeah, no, you're right. We're dragging on with Giancarlo Stanton, who's not even playing this year. NL Central, Mizrowski was on the bump tonight. He cost me a bet because I had him over 7 strikeouts. He got 6 and then got pulled versus the Mets. That was awesome. Um, but Milwaukee is 82 and 51. They are cruising right now in the Central. They have a 6.5 game lead on the Cubbies. And then it's a massive gap because the Cardinals, Pirates, and Reds are all 16 games back or more in the division. Cardinal, and it's crazy because remember, for the longest time, I think this entire division had winning records. I think it was like through like 40 or 50 games. And then now 3 of the 5 have losing records, including the Cardinals, Pirates, and Reds.
I still can't believe the Cardinals are close to 500. I think they're the biggest kind of, I don't want to say upset story because they're not really upsetting anyone, but I'm just surprised by the Cardinals more than the Pirates. Real quick with the Pirates, Skeens had a very good start yesterday and didn't get much attention. Meanwhile, when he was playing terrible, everyone was going down his throat. So just want to point that out.
People like to, once you hit the top, people like to tear you down.
Yeah, I know. But then yesterday he had a great game, and I feel like just there's no acknowledgement of it.
Well, that's good. It's good for, Skeens fans. I'm a massive Skeens fan, so I'm happy about that. Um, let's see. That's it for the Central for me, really. Just St. Louis, they were on a 5 game losing streak. They snapped that. Mason Wynn hit the IL. Pirates won the first 2 against San Diego, which is kind of crazy. San Diego, I feel, has been very good recently. And I think that's it for the Central, though. It looked, like few months ago, it sounded like the Central might sneak in a couple teams to the playoffs. Now I'm thinking it's closer to 1 or 2. The Cubs, who knows if the Cubs are going to get in?
I think the Cubs will get in.
Right now, they're first place in the wild card, but the Phillies are right on their tail. The Padres are right on their tail, and the Diamondbacks, who have been playing solid, um, solid baseball, I should say. But yeah, with the additions, you know what? Now that I look at it, I didn't realize
I think the Cubs have one of like the best run differentials in baseball. They might have the best run differential in baseball behind like the Dodgers.
Let me see.
Probably the Dodgers and the Brewers.
Overall differential.
I'm gonna guess they're number 3.
They are number 3, 119 behind the Dodgers and the Brewers.
There you go.
All right. And
Gausman pitched great for them as well, so their deadline move has worked out.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, solid move now that we talk about it. We should do like a discussion about the trade deadline pieces, like in the offseason, like how they worked out for the teams, like
me and Hagen had talked about that. And I think it was like after like I think it was like 1 week after the trade deadline, everyone had one game, and a lot of the players did not perform well in that game. Gausman, by the way, had like a 32 soldier score last night. I think he was the highest soldier score yesterday.
I gotta learn more about how the soldier score is calculated. I know you just put out a piece on it. I didn't read it yet though.
It's kind of complicated, but it just takes everything into account. Like it's very leverage based, or it takes WPA, it takes a bunch of other underlying stats and kind of just mushes them all together. But again, it's just if you're just looking at the box score, it's tough to know exactly. Like if you're not watching the game, or if you're not looking through like the game log and looking for all the plays, and you look at a box score and you see like who was the guy yesterday? He had a lot of walks though, so like there's a guy who got a quality start yesterday. Oh my god, who was it?
For what team?
Let me just pull. I had tweeted about it.
Okay.
Joey Cantillo had a quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. He had 7 walks though. And one of the runs was like he made an error, so then it wasn't counted towards his earned run total or something like that. But he had 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 7 walks, but still he got a quality start. But it was really, really bad performance. So soldier score gave him a 3.8, which is a 0 is obviously like the median, or the middle, not the median. But anything below 0, you obviously didn't help your team win. Anything above 0, you helped your team win to some extent. So 3.8 is like you barely helped your team win. So that's kind of just what it's showing. So if you see a 3.8 for score for a starter and their start, like that wasn't a good start, pretty much.
Yeah.
But if you look at the box score and you're like, oh, he went 6 innings and only gave up like 2 runs, something like that. I think he had 2 earned runs. Then you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad of a start. I don't know. That's kind of like the idea.
It's interesting. Let's jump to the West, seeing we're at the 43-minute mark. Dodgers still have their grip on the division. They're 8 games up. I'll mention this. I put out an NL MVP piece last week of who I was going to predict to win between PCA and Shohei Ohtani. I picked Shohei, and I think I was very clear. It's a simple answer. I think the pitching gets you there, especially if he pitches any more in the regular season this year. But his hitting statistics, he's right there with PCA across the board on a lot of stuff. And someone commented back, I didn't write comment back on it, but someone mentioned, would the Dodgers, and I love this argument for other sports, would the Dodgers still be in first place with or without Ohtani? And he's like, yes. The thing is, though, the Dodgers are only 8 games up on the Padres. Ohtani, how many wins?
It's a lot of games.
How many games has Ohtani won as a pitcher for the Dodgers this year? The answer is 8. So he has won the difference.
But that doesn't mean that whoever they slide in for him doesn't get any wins.
I understand that because wins have decreased as a stat, but you have to factor that in. It's like he did pitch 8 games where they ended up winning the ball game, and as a starter, that means he went. What is a win? What you have to exit the game
Five
after five
innings. Five
innings,
innings.
up by 3 or more runs.
It doesn't matter what they're up. It's just 5 innings.
Okay, 5 innings and have the lead.
Yes. Quality start is 6 innings, only giving up 3 earned runs.
Yeah, 3 or less. But so I think Otani right there proved my point when I was looking at the standings, but needless to say, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Padres are in second. Diamondbacks, if they, we didn't talk about the Ketel Marte situation. Do we want to talk about that, or is that
We
on?
have talked about the Ketel Marte situation.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We did. I'm losing my mind. Giants, they're pitiful at 25 and a half games back. They should have sold more pieces at the deadline, even though they did move guys, obviously. And the Rockies, I don't know. Would you say the Rockies are doing better or worse this year than you anticipated at 52 and 82, 30 games below 500?
I mean, they're 20 games out of the wild card, so as bad as I thought. Hunter Goodman was a fun story, but that's about it.
Yeah. This division seems to be pretty much wrapped up at this point. I don't have any memorabilia. I could show them the White Sox ball. I don't know if
No, no one
that's not
needs to see that.
necessary.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. We we'll be back with an episode on Sunday, and then I guess Sunday will be maybe we'll have an episode while the game's going on. Maybe we'll try to work that out.
Is it Sunday
At a
night?
soccer game.
I'm assuming it's Sunday night
I,
baseball,
I
right?
I imagine it is.
I'm
I
going to it
can't.
right now. It's schedule. Got it. The Yankees will be playing.
No, 135 game. Wow.
Might be a little early for Hagen, considering the time difference.
No, I don't want to do an afternoon episode. I just was thinking we would go on while they were playing, but we're not going to do that.
Fair enough. All right. That's it from me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? No. Hope Roman Anthony's back. That's about it.
Hopefully George Lombard doesn't get any more errors.
I think they just have to bench him for a day. Chris Sale just completed a shutout, by the way, but I think they have to bench him for a day or two.
Might be.
He just says the yips now. Just the yips.
Yeah, that probably is, because the first day I saw him play at his debut, he looked like he can catch anything. So it's definitely the yips. I agree.
Yeah, you were ready to declare him like the best player they've had in a generation.
He's a Yankee prospect. We have to do that.
Yeah. Then look what you do to Anthony Volpe. All right. We will see you guys Sunday. All right. Bye.